Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to George Croft's American Music Show. Today, we got the chance to sit down with Tyler Johnson of Tyler & Co. Marketing. Tyler is a phenomenal guitar player. He's worked with me on a bunch of my songs. He's a phenomenal videographer who his business up here in Northern California is killing it. He's doing weddings and legacy videos and music videos for artists. And he's just a great guy, and it was awesome to be able to sit down and talk with him for a minute. So please enjoy this interview with Tyler Johnson. All right, we've got a new music alert, ladies and gentlemen. My latest single, High Sierra Coming Down, has just dropped and is available wherever you get your music. So go ahead and check it out, send it to a friend, and remember that's High Sierra Coming Down. We are also brought to you by Tyler & Co. Marketing, providing top-notch photography and videography services to Northern California. Tyler & Co. is your one-stop shop for social media content, product videos, commercials, promotional videos, and best of all, weddings and events. I dare you to take a quick scroll down their Instagram page at TylerandCo_marketing and tell me it doesn't look like a Hollywood production. If you want people to ask you who the executive producer of your wedding was, call Tyler & Co. If you want it to look like you got paid just to be in your wedding photos, call Tyler & Co. If you want the video of your first dance to look like it qualified you for the Screen Actors Guild, call Tyler & Co. And best of all, your future father-in-law is going to forgive you for everything. Everything. When he finds out how much money you're saving him on this wedding by using Tyler & Co. Marketing to capture your big day. So visit tylerandcofilms.com for all your photography needs. That's tylerandcofilms.com. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah, dude.
So I think let's just start with, so where did you get your start? So every time we hang out, you say something that you just bring up something that you did that I had no idea. And it's always some super cool tangent you went on. And so I think it'd be cool to just kind of dig into this. So, okay, so how'd you get your musical start? Because you're a killer guitar player.
Wow, thanks, man. That means a lot coming from you.
So when did you start playing, and how did that progress to where you are now?
Yeah. So my, oh man, long story short, my stepdad he had an electric guitar. My brother and I were about, I would say 5 and 7. And he would, we always hear him picking it and stuff. And we were never into it. I was really into basketball. But then one day I just started listening, and I was just like, this is awesome. I just gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
And my brother, he's an amazing drummer, actually really good. So we essentially, it kind of just came out of nothing, and then we just started playing and jamming. He got a drum set for Christmas, and I got a guitar.
Nice.
And we would jam in our bedroom, in his bedroom after school, like every day. We'd just write stuff.
Nice.
And I had picked up the guitar, and the guitar I had gotten, and it was like an Epiphone Les Paul, a great guitar. And I didn't have an amp for it or anything. I just played acoustically and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would just play the same 3 notes for every day after school. I was just obsessed. I grew up listening to Metallica, Jimi Hendrix, and all this fun stuff. And I loved it, man. It was like an escape for me,
Yeah. So you're learning by ear.
Yeah.
All of us are at first. At least.
Exactly. And I never took lessons. I took one college course and dropped out after that, the first day, and but before that, I had been teaching myself, listening to CDs when we had dial-up internet, we didn't get to really lean on YouTube as much as we do now. And it was a lot of CDs and
just figuring it, burning it into your brain.
So every day I did that. And my mom said, she's like, we didn't think you were ever gonna, we didn't know. We were like, okay. For a year I sounded like just cat scratch,
Right. Yeah.
And I was learning cat scratch feet.
Only for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, not bad.
Yeah.
But I think the persistence and it just broke through, and I loved it. And it's been, I've been playing for years, and I've always tried to put myself in positions where I was jamming with people that were better than me and different styles than me. So I played in so many different, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We've talked, you know, I love jamming. I just love jamming. But so it kind of started with my stepdad and got a guitar for Christmas, and just me and my brother jammed for years and had a band, and kind of just lent itself to different avenues and opportunities and stuff.
Nice. So when did you start like playing around with other, when did you feel confident enough to start jumping in on things and kind of?
A good question, man. Me and my brother and my stepdad, we would jam together, and then we end up meeting some friends through another friend. They wanted to start a band. And after that, we started this band. We started playing local gigs.
Oh, nice.
My mom would take us all the way to Wheatland from Yuba City every day after school almost, to go practice in this garage in our underwear and, you know, sweat, and just, it was ridiculous. But like, that's the, you know, commitment, you know, like that we had. It was like, we didn't care what we were doing when we would play these shows these $5 shows on the weekends eventually, and which the whole community would come to. And then we go to this Carl's Jr. in Marysville right after the show. It was a place called Holy Grounds, and it was a staple back in the day, and there was a lot of community with that. But yeah, I would always have people know that I play guitar, and then they would be like, dude, let's jam. And then I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. You know, and I would go anywhere and everywhere.
Get it wherever you could.
Yeah, wherever I could. I was like, this is what I want and I need, and this is what feeds my soul. And I would have no musical, you know, boundaries. I would just go, I'd play with rappers, I'd play with country artists, I started out with metal and hardcore music. So emo bands, right? Yeah. And thrashing and and just heavy breakdowns, like super drop C tuning, like shredding with half stacks, and I would just go everywhere. Yeah. Dude, it's so fun. Nice. You know, it's like once you get the bug, and then you just want to any chance you get. Yeah. So that's through high school, I'm assuming. Like, so you kind of stuck with that kind of same kind of base. Yes, so when did you get the photography bug? Because we should say, we run your ad on the show. I know. You're a killer videographer also. Thankful. So when did that tee into your... Bro. So first of all, thank you for that. Like, that's actually getting me work, and I appreciate that. That's huge.
Yes.
Yes. I've always loved capturing things in the moment. I didn't even think about this. I just got to preface something. Like, I found an old VHS tape of my grandpa, like my papa and my grandma's VHS recorder, like over your shoulder.
Oh, nice.
I was literally making movies on that thing, like small little clips. I was filming myself. I was filming my papa. I was filming everything. And I would do that with my bands too. I'd buy these cheap little recorders that I still have, like Sony, you know, recorders. Yeah. And I would film our practices. We'd make promos for our shows, but I never did it because I was so into music. I went to school for audio engineering. I did all this stuff. And it just, you know, the audio engineering thing never took off like video has.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like a lost thing though, because like the audio engineering, I mean, that's half of the video side now.
Totally.
Like
totally. Yeah, exactly. It lends it.
It's a good combo of things. So you went, where'd you go to college?
I went to school. I went to college it was a tech school. It was Pinnacle College in Sacramento. It was a branch of Soundmasters in LA. So it was like a 10-month, 12-month program that I went to for audio engineering. Like, I got to play with all this amazing analog and digital gear, working with Pro Tools, meet some really cool, famous producers, and work hands-on with these guys every day. Wow. And it was a dream for something like you and me. It was a dream just to show up and be there, and all, you know, it was a great opportunity. But really, my skill set came into play pulling those fundamentals and actually making mistakes in the real world, and automatically learning from it, because I've gotten the experience where I can pull from that experience. You know, I had the fundamentals, but I had the experience in the real world with live shows and touring bands and recording bands out of my apartment. My wife can tell you multiple stories of where I've made vocal booths out of closets. On my dining table, I've mixed full albums on my kitchen counter. Like, nice. You know, like back in the day.
Wherever you can scratch out enough space.
Literally. And my wife was there for it through the whole thing. But I worked for Fox and CBS Sports. Like, that gave me an opportunity to work for Super Bowl. I worked Super Bowl 50.
Right. So how did that, no, that's good. So how did that tee off from, like, so you're going to audio school. How'd you end up working Super Bowl 50? Like, what was the...
Honestly, it's all in who you know, man. And they knew that I went to school for it. They didn't know what I did. I could have been horrible. I could have been, amazing. But it's just, somebody knew who I was and knew what I did and gave me a shot. And I ended up taking a call with another buddy of mine. And we went and we started out in Oakland. We worked for CBS and Fox Sports. We were a part of, I'm still a part of the union. It's an IBEW. I don't remember the number, but it's one of those numbers, and it's a union that you're a part, you have to be a part of to join these crews. But I would work, per ab mic. I would work with A1s. I'd work with V1s. I would work, grip. I did lighting for Super Bowl 50. So, and we did a lot of stuff, worked some pro AM events. I've done a lot of cable wrapping, rigging, and, and all the trucks that are in the compound that they would call it, and we would get there early and we would be there till like 2 a.m. and then I'd work an AV gig the next day, and then I'd go work my day job at a warehouse.
Oh my gosh.
And having a family, and it was just like, out of all that, I had this urge to get out of my day job and full send on, this, whether it was audio or whatever. And video was completely out of the picture. And I was actually in a music video that some of my friends were shooting, and they totally opened the door for me and blessed me, because they were like, we really like this guy. We want to see if he's down to shoot weddings with us. And
oh, nice.
It was Action Imagery. Yeah. And they're awesome. And so what they did is they gave me this opportunity to work for free and learn from them. And and I was just doing what I love. They were filming that, and they gave me the opportunity, and I just went with it. I bit the bullet. I put credit on, put a camera on credit that I didn't even have credit with.
Yeah.
I just took a chance. Right. And we were providing for my family, like, with this job. But what happened was I invested the time and I took the leap of faith and I went for it. And I was still working my job that I didn't like. And, at the time, I knew I was supposed to be there for some reason, and then with COVID and everything, I ended up getting laid off. Right?
Yeah.
So
man, COVID did that to a lot of people. It reset a lot of people's life track. Yeah, it was like, the thing that you don't like doing can just evaporate.
Yeah.
So like, you might as well try.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened was I could have gone back. I had opportunities to go back in different positions for different departments. I was there for 12 years. I worked in the warehouse for 12 years, right out of high school. And we were making not enough, right? Yeah. We were just right at this cusp. And what happened was I had this opportunity I got laid off, which for most people that had been working there for 30 plus years, they had gotten laid off too.
Oh my God.
It was a different story, unfortunately. And for me, I was lucky because I had been putting and sewing in my time into this opportunity.
Yeah.
I was working for free almost. I was working for free, and then I made like $50, like $100.
Yeah.
And then ended up working to be a second shooter for a lot more. And I just took this jump, and it paid off.
I was say it worked. Yeah.
Because it's been almost 5+ years that I've been doing this, and my family's taken care of. I get to meet amazing people. I get to sell into the community. I get to do free videos that I don't talk about a lot of stuff I do, but I do a lot of free stuff.
I say you're constantly working. Like I see you're great about posting stuff, and you seem to be every couple of days you're working on something. Yeah.
But I try to, and I will, and thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I will say that I do. This community is everything. And I always say that because I'm not going anywhere. I grew up here, and I want to invest as much as I can. And this year is going to look different for me, and it's going to be good. And I'm excited. But I try to, as much as I can, I try to invest in the community while still paying the bills and taking care of my family. And we have such an amazing community that stands up for each other and stands up for local, people and businesses. And I just got to say, like, I'm so thankful for it because I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for people like you, like Kurt, like the people, that I can rely on that put me out there.
Like I said, we moved here just a few years ago, and I've gotten the same feeling. It's like, it's this random little spot in Northern California that most people can't find on a map, but it's just awesome. And it's got so this, awesome. It's a good spot to land for sure.
Yeah.
And you happen to find killer musicians and
I know. I was so stoked, bro, to meet you, man. Like you're on another level, dude.
Well, no, and I will say, so we had ladies and gentlemen, if you go back and listen to our last 2 singles that I did, Tyler's playing guitar on those things.
It's an honor, dude.
And it's phenomenal.
Yeah, you're insane.
And it's great because it's, I feel like there's been a little bit of like COVID and technology and everything else, like kind of democratized the music space in a big way. Cause it went from being like, oh, you want to go be a studio musician, you got to check all these boxes. Yeah. And there's people that have gone to college for music specifically for 10 years or whatever, and they're going to be a studio musician. That's kind of the caliber of people you got to find. Yeah. And then it's like, because that's where the gear was, and that's where the recording studios are and stuff. But now it's like you can find all these self-taught killers that are just as good, if not better, and and with way easier access. So music, I feel like in general, is just the sky is the limit now. Yeah, because it's like it's. I mean, but you've done studio work in the past, right? Like, have you like guitar wise? Like,
absolutely. I've had a couple recording studios, and I've written stuff for clients from my couch, and I've written stuff for an American Idol contestant. I've written stuff for a lot of randomly famous low key people that they're not like famous, but they're like doing their thing. People know who they are. I've done.
So how'd you get into that? What was the first time you got a phone call for like, hey, we need a guitar part?
A buddy of mine, he's an amazing mixing engineer, mastering engineer, producer. It's kind of funny. So I've come across a lot of different people through my life of, music, and I've written for a lot of different people just because they're like, dude, would you do this? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And then I just end up doing it. So it's not so much like one person that has given me the opportunity. Yeah. It's kind of just meeting a bunch of different people, but there is a guy who's gotten me some great stuff as of recently, and he's awesome. And, he got me like the American Idol contesting, gig, and it was cool. And
so what was that like? So when they approach you for something like that, is it way more technical and like they want like sheet music out of you, or like how do they?
It's honestly, what I tell people, it's like from my personal experience, it's different, and like I'm nowhere near like the pros out there. I'm just touching the surface.
You can say that. I will say that, but
and I'm being honest.
I mean, you're being humble.
Okay. But I will say, because there's a formula for everything and it's different, and I know it's changing, but for what happened with me is I got to go sit in the studio and we worked on this song together. And this is one of many cases, but this was the most recent one for that one. And the great artist, had a concept. I just showed up. It was me and the producer and her producer. And we just sat down and listened to the song and wrote some stuff. And I had my acoustic guitar and my electric, and I just kind of jammed on it. And I would just write something, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then we'd go with it. And then, they would work on the lyrics and stuff. And, it's just like, it's not,
but they're not after you for like, now go put that on sheet music so we can bring that to other people.
Dude, I didn't go to school for, I just play by ear, bro.
Yeah. That's what
so for me,
it's like, so funny. Like, cause that reminds me, I heard a story recently where like Brad Paisley did a similar thing where somebody asked him to like throw a guitar part on a song. He does it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And they're like, great, can you send us the sheet music? And he's like, no. I don't know if I can play it the same way again.
He's not wrong. But that's like,
I don't know. It'd take me weeks to figure that out.
And that's exactly. That's what's real. And I know that there are people that can do. I know people that are so good. I know my buddy Steven Stearns. I'll shout him out right now. He's amazing. He's going to hate me for shouting him out, but because he's another one of those guys. He's just so humble. He's so good. And he's a musician's musician. He went to school. He has his pro card. He is an amazing bass player and multi-musician now. And he's so good, and he could pick up all those things, I'm sure, what I mean? But for me, it's like, I just listen and I just like, I feel it. Yeah. And that's all I do.
And it's such a cool experience too. Cause like, so when we did the last 2 songs we got to work, good old Will Mitchell, shout out Will.
Will's awesome.
Yeah, he's the man. Will. But he came up and we got to record at your place and at my place, and
that was awesome.
But the moment of like recording stuff, and Will's into it, and he's like, now try it this way, and now we're gonna have 2 guitar parts. And
dude,
like,
that was so cool.
He's like, he's got this whole image in his head of like, now you're the other guy and you're playing off each other, and like, it was awesome.
Full contact. Yeah, he literally said full context. He said, he was like, I had 2 different guitars, and he said, he did say that he was like, I want you to shred, and then I want this other guy to come in, and I want him to riff, and I want you guys to riff with each other.
Yeah,
and we did.
It was great. Yeah, it was awesome. And I mean, because it's such a cool like gear to get into, because it's just this like flow state thing happening. Everything sounds great.
Yeah,
nobody's under the gun for anything. It's like we're it's not like we're. There's an added pressure relief too, because it's not like I said, the old days, you like when I've done episodes on talking about like Glenn Campbell or some of these guys that started off as studio musicians, they pick those guys because time is money. You're under the, like, you got to get it right, and you got to get it right quick, because things are
just firing stuff.
And so it's this pressure down on top of you of like, get it perfect before we run out of money.
Right.
But it's like, now it's like, we don't have to deal with that. It's just like, just make it sound great, and we can toy around with stuff, and like, and if we do it and we don't like it, we can do it again.
Right.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, you get what I think was a great guitar part out of the deal.
That's awesome.
And it sounded phenomenal.
I'm glad you liked it, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. We got more coming. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm stoked.
That's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So now you're doing. So you're.
Yeah.
Are you going forward from here? You said you're thinking about doing more like music videos and stuff for people. Is that kind of something you're trying to lean into?
Absolutely. I'm definitely leaning into that. I'm leaning into, my horizon looks a lot different this year, which is good. It's stretching me. And it's good. I was talking with my wife today, and I'm so just thankful. She's so encouraging. Because we get in our heads, and we psych ourselves out a lot, especially as creatives.
Yeah.
And
letting the perfect be the enemy of the good is what they call it.
Yeah, dude. And and wanting that client to be, I want, even with my video work, like I try to go above and beyond all the time. And I probably lose money, I may be honest, man, on a lot of my projects, because I'm putting more time than, because I'm not like just a strictly business kind of guy. Like I actually want my clients to,
Well, I mean, but it shows though, like the cool thing is that like, when you treat it like that, your product ends up being at such a level that it's like, it sells itself. It's
That's
like,
awesome,
you don't have to, like I could pick your videos out of a lineup.
That means a lot, man.
With
that's awesome.
No other context, just just video quality and like shot decisions and editing decisions. Like I'd be like, oh, that's one of Tyler's. Like you could pick that out.
That's awesome, dude.
I mean, far and away from
cool.
anyone else working at that level now.
Thank
you. So I'm excited, man, because like I said, as soon as you pull the trigger on that, like it's going to be, it's going to be great. Especially because, we have so many artists around that would love to do that. So I think that's going to be, any artists that see this and want to, make a video, hit up Tyler. Yeah. We've got the ads in the beginning of the show,
dude. And I know, I'm so stoked. And that's it. That's so awesome. Thank you for that, man. And, again, it's I think it's just really cool that your story has like, everything you've done before now leading into where you seem to be going is like this awesome full circle moment of like, you've just racked up all these skills to do that thing you want to do. It's true.
Better than anyone else is doing it. Wow. Like you have it all in there, and it's just, you just stuck to your guns and built your skills and made, and
it's all coming back,
and you're, a great guy, and you haven't I'm sure like if you were just like a jerk to everybody along the way, it wouldn't have turned out this way.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I was going to say. It's like, you could be the best of the best, but people have to like you, and they have to.
Yeah. You got to be a people person for sure. That's half the battle, but you got it. So like,
thanks, man.
You've got the personality, you've got the skill, you've got like the musical talent, you've got I'm excited to see the next, couple of years out of you, man. It's going to be,
that's awesome.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, especially like I said, with all the artists that we have around and stuff, like I think it's going to be,
we're so thankful.
It's going to be cool.
We're so lucky with all the artists we have, dude, including yourself. You're so good. We have so many good artists and great people around here, and
we have no shortage of scenery around here.
I know. We could be out of it completely. There's so many different spots.
Like, that's what's great about like another thing that's great about our little corner of California is like you're in the mountains in 20 minutes.
Literally, we were talking about that.
Yeah, you can be in the cherry orchards in 5 minutes.
I know, dude.
You've got the buttes right over there that are just, their own special little thing. You got the coast range is like an hour away. You could be on the beach in 3 hours.
You could do anything.
Within a day of shooting, you could do anything you wanted.
Literally.
And so I'm excited, man, because like I said, you've got the the just geospatial right spot. You got the personality, you've got the skill,
Thanks,
you've got the talent. Like it's going to be great to see, man. I'm excited.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and we've got some killer music to make. I feel
I
like
know,
all
dude.
of that aside,
I know. I'm excited for that. By the way, I'm not gonna say anything, but there's a lot of stuff going on. It's pretty cool.
It's going to be cool. We're you know that would be
pumped on that.
Get some, you know, we're gonna. Not to give away too many things, but yeah, there's a.
I'm so bad at that. This year's different for me too, because I talk about everything I'm going to do, and then a lot of the times I get so caught up with it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm
you gotta leave them wanting.
I'm
more.
like, I just don't. I want you to just go boom.
There's things in the works.
There's things in the works.
Yeah, keep checking in. Things are happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man,
that's awesome, dude.
No, that's great. Yeah, so are you still? So you said you've still got lots of weddings in the can, and you've been doing a lot of wedding shoots. Which, like I said, when we ran, you know, I joke in the ad that, like, you know, if you want your wedding to look like it would get you your SAG, you know, certification or whatever, like that's because it's so funny. Because like when I go back and look at the wedding stuff you've done, it's like,
wow, dude. I haven't posted a lot of my new stuff,
dude. It looks so good, and it's like man. I mean, it looks crazy expensive is what it looks.
That's good. Yeah, I need to take note of that.
So that's, I'm sure people are always pleasantly surprised when they hit you up and they're like, oh, it doesn't cost $1 million. Awesome.
Yeah. That's you know what, man, like that's another thing for me. It's like coming from what I was making at my previous job, my day job, and what I'm making now is such a night and day difference that like, I want to work with people and I want to help people as much as I can.
And you've helped me out. I mean, endlessly. I feel, and you know, and there's, but it is cool that you've gotten yourself to this position where like you can help artists out if you feel like it, and you're not like putting yourself, you know,
because
on the red lines because you made a music video.
Well, that's the thing is, dude, because I've been there. I've been like in the grind with the music for years. I was doing it, and now I have an opportunity to, you know, to help people out and work with people, amazing people like yourself and others, you know, that I know. It's like, man. Yeah.
It's like I said,
awesome.
I can't say enough about like just how exciting it is. Cause like
awesome,
there's,
dude.
you know, you don't have anything working against you. It doesn't seem
no,
you're not like, oh, he could make it if he would just do whatever. It's like, no, like
you've helped me a lot. I'm taking your advice actually a lot. And dude, you've helped me a lot. There's a lot of things that are on the pipeline or because of your encouragement and what you've told me and spoken to me, like, and taught me. So I'm just, I'm so pumped.
I'm happy to have any impact, but man, that like I said, you've got it locked.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. It's like I said, just, I can't say enough good things.
That's awesome, dude.
So what's your latest thing you got coming down the pipe here that you want people checking out?
Oh my gosh. What am I? It's funny. Cause I have a couple things in the pipeline that are in the pipeline, but I don't want to say it yet usually. But what do I have? I have,
you've done a lot of weddings recently, right? Like we're kind of on the tail end of wedding season now, but the people are booking them for next year. I'm sure
they are. They are absolutely are. I had 42 weddings in 2024, and the last year I had 30. My math is really wrong. Possibly on this, if I went and counted, it's about 36, 37 weddings, I think.
That's pretty good though.
And this year I don't know what it looks like. I know I'm booking. I've been booking weddings and it's been great. And it's a different season every year. And I don't actually get a lot of my bookings so I have a lot of dates available, just so you know, guys, right now, but they are coming in. And I have inquiries coming in and I'm so stoked on that. Honestly, man, one thing I want to say is like, there's so many great people out there that do what I do. And I want, you know, especially with weddings. Yeah. But I want you to know that I want to tell your story. That's my goal. I want to tell the story, whether it's a wedding or a business. Like,
yeah, you've done some killer videos for local local businesses here and you know, and well, really like all around, you know, Northern California, I guess. But like I said, you can't really put a price tag on that either. Like how professional that looks and how, you know, what that does for a business. Cause there's just psychologically, it's like, if you see an ad for a business and you can tell they kind of went cheap on the production, it's kind of like it doesn't instill confidence in the business itself.
Yeah.
But you've got this cool, like, you know, your X factor, I feel like, especially for the business stuff, because I've seen a bunch of them. It's like the quality, like I said, the quality looks like that small business went out and spent $1 million on a
that's the goal. That's the goal for sure. I want everybody to have access to that.
Yeah, but you're helping these people out and doing, you know, so it's like I said, I can't say enough good things, but like all your categories,
Thanks,
man, your playing, your videography, your ads, your stuff, like your, you know,
I want to say more stuff about
now,
you, dude.
And now
awesome.
now you're gonna, because are you open to artists approaching you for videos now? Like, is that
1,000%?
Yeah. So like this
is like my ad. I don't do ads. I don't post ads. I don't run ads. I do. Yeah, I mean, this is an ad. Like, so dude, whatever. I'm open.
Yeah, like so we've been happy to, like I said, we've got your ad on the show for 6 months, but that's like,
I know.
I love doing it.
That's everything to me, bro. Like it means so much, man. I was gonna say something too. I just wanted to just circle back real quick. I want everybody's story to be told. Like I really do.
Yeah.
Like that's what got me super fired up and stoked, is like I want like even like legacy videos, like, you know, I want to do legacy videos, like I want to pitch that, because I do that, and it's essentially getting family members, you know, that are getting a little older, you know, who have, you know, who just have a lot more time left, but even they're getting older, that you want to have, essentially I want to give them a Netflix documentary for their family. Like
that's cool.
Like I like genuinely want to do that. So that's another thing that I'm going to really push this year.
Nice.
Essentially is.
I mean, that's, you know, there's a lot of that. Like, you know, my grandparents are 93, and one of my cousins did a similar version of that.
Yeah.
I think she did it as a college project or something, but you realize that, like, how often do you sit older people down and be like, tell me your wisdom, you know, like
we don't.
Usually you just run
most of the time, we're just going.
Yeah, you're just going, oh, give you a hug, I'll see you later.
I'm speaking to myself here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just go.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, like, because anytime you do sit them down, you get these crazy stories that,
and they enjoy it.
And watching them kind of sit back in their mind and pick through, and like watching their like highlight reel in their eyes for a second while they're trying to dig up a memory. It's like there's so much in there.
I'm telling you, man, like exactly. You nailed it. That's exactly it.
That was like when I wrote, actually the next song coming out is the Ballad of George and Dan that I did. That's like, it's a true story about, you know, my grandpa and his brother going to buy a motorcycle in Detroit. But that's how that story came around, is we were just like at the dinner table. Yeah. And, you know, my grandpa just said, you know, something, I said something about how there's nothing in Wyoming. And then I can't remember why we were talking about that.
Right.
And but then he just kind of looks up and goes, you know, my brother and I spent the night in the jail in Cheyenne one time. And like the way he said it was just like everybody's head snapped around, because he's the nicest guy on the planet. Like I don't think
super random, right?
He's the kind of guy that will like call the county. He lives in Santa Clara County, which is like, you know,
that's funny.
You know, there's politically pretty heavy down there.
Yeah.
And so, but he'll like call the county department to make sure it's a burn day before he uses the propane insert in his house.
Dude.
He's like, I just want to make sure we're on, you know. So so for him to say, you know, we spent the night in the jail in Cheyenne one time, was just like, it was so out of left
off
field.
The wall.
Yeah, it was just like, so there's a story in there, and sure enough, like, and the way he said it was spent the night in the jail. So it was like, so we knew that he didn't, like, it's different if you say we spent the night in jail. That means you deserve to be there.
Yeah.
But he said we spent the night in the jail, and it turned out that they had just like, they were on this motorcycle trip and they just stayed at the jail because it was cold outside. And,
that's
and
funny.
They just let them sleep there. And they got up and went on the next day.
But that could have like, but it's
it's like, you know, but you only get that story if you sit down with them and you're just talking about just visiting and talking about whatever, and then just random little, you know, because like what other excuse? I can't, like,
crazy.
You know, like I said, he's 93, and we've never heard that story before.
That's what I'm saying. Is there's so many,
and then I write that song, and then I mean, my mom is one of 9 kids.
Right.
And after, you know, I make the little just like voice recording on my phone.
Yeah.
And of course, it hits the family text thread, and all of like a bunch of uncles and aunts and cousins are like, "Did this really happen? Like, did this?"
Dude, that's awesome.
Like, yes, it did. Like, at least the story is there's a little bit of artistic, license in there, but not very much. And but like I said, it was just cool to like we didn't even know like that had happened, and who knows how many of those stories are in there.
That's what I'm saying. It's one person too.
Yeah, and it's like. But yeah, like that's a great idea.
A lot of knowledge.
To sit the older generation down and just start interviewing them because
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of crazy like human stories too that you don't talk about very often. Like I can't remember how it came up a long time ago, but I was talking to my grandma, who's also now she's 93, and I can't remember how it came up, but the story was that. She had a friend in Berkeley when she was a little girl in 1944 or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were friends with this Japanese family across the street.
Yeah.
Who had like this Japanese garden thing. And she's in her 90s tearing up telling me this story about how her friend and her parents brought flowers over and were like, keep these alive. We're going to a concentration camp.
Oh my gosh.
And that family got shipped off and they never saw them again. But it's like, so you don't
right there.
Like that's a story that like that's been in I've known my grandma my whole life and I never knew that story.
And how many more stories do you?
Yeah, and it's like, and what excuse would you ever have had to bring that up in the past? Right. It's like so all that stuff is just sitting in there.
True, dude.
And and if you don't talk to them about it, and if you don't get it on video, you never get those stories, and you never.
And when as a writer, as an artist, as somebody who literally writes music, and you tell stories with your music, which is so true. You're insane.
No.
What does that encourage you like to be like, I want to get more stories out
100%.
of
Yeah. Like like I said, every time I go down to Redwood City to record or anything, you drive the extra 45 minutes and just go hang out and just visit for a while. And, same thing. You just talk and hang out and see what stories come to light.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of this, like you said, some of these could be relatable stories. They could be, they could be healing stories that as you put them in a song, somebody else might relate in some way. Like they're like, oh my gosh, that
I think
connects me.
That's it's also interesting now. Like, I feel like that our generation now is like, as a society, we're way more open to to sharing and getting help when there's a problem. Like therapy is like way more common now than it's ever been.
Right.
And like there's people are willing to open up about things they're thinking about. Where like back then, it was not that way, and you had to do your best to just have a hard nose, suck it up, and get through stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And so when they do tell those stories about things like that, there's a billion people that are like, oh yeah, that happened to me too, and like. This is how I dealt with it. Or, like there's this web of impact that they're all connected to, and they've all got a similar story. But if none of them say anything, that beautiful web of humanity just never gets, brought to life. It just goes away.
It just goes away.
Yeah. Which,
you're right.
That's a great idea, man. That'd be really cool.
Well, yeah, I loved it. I love hearing that. I'm actually looking forward to hearing that song.
Oh yeah, awesome. The Ballad of Georgia Jen.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that should be out in a week or two, I think. Hopefully, yeah. I just got a text from Will about it yesterday.
Nice. Do you have any shows coming up or anything? Like,
we're doing a lot of charity shows in December. Yeah, and then I've got a ticketed show at the barn, and that just got signed up for June, so that's a ways out there. But then, we've always got the little the Folsom gigs and the Sacramento gigs and stuff coming. So that's announcements to be made here first of the year.
That's really cool.
But yeah, no, we're cooking along.
I love that.
But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. We got a lot of cool things to work on and things to crank out.
I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So artists that want videos can reach out to you through the same Tyler & Co. website and everything?
Yes.
So you're like artists, weddings, families looking at legacy videos, like all that. And like I said, I cannot say enough about the level of quality. Bro, that means a lot. Like bang for your buck, you cannot beat it. So
thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this next year and 5 years goes, man. This is gonna be great.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
awesome. I honestly, man, I just want to say again, like, it's an honor to be on your show, like, and running my ads and just being for me, like you have, like, you've become just a solid friend. And
you too, man. I appreciate it. Like, yeah,
it's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, it's because you're a great dude and your quality of work is just phenomenal. So it's a great connection. So yeah. And thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, bro. George Croft, everybody.
Mr. Tyler Johnson. Yeah.
You're awesome.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.